Hi there. One of the exciting aspects of studying any topic is when you start to see the masters who study that topic and look at the ideas that they're promoting, and you start to see commonalities in them. And in this video I'm going to share with you 5 or 6 masters and their ideas in the realm of using your imagination, your subconscious mind, and even manifestation practices in order to have more of what you want in life and create the circumstances that you want to have. So the first master we're going to talk about is Neville Goddard. And Neville was a spiritual teacher. Some call him a mystic. He lived, he passed away in the early 1970s, I want to say 1972, but during his life he gave speeches all over the country and spiritual talks all over the country to crowds everywhere. He was well loved and well liked. And what he said was that our imagination is God inside of us. And he said that in order to create the experiences and circumstances we want to have, we need to actively use this imagination and really go beyond like visualization or seeing what we want. And he talked about engaging the senses, all of the senses, when we do these imagination or feeling sessions. And what Neville talked about was morning and evening, get into a relaxed state in a comfortable chair and feel, close your eyes and feel as if you are experiencing or having that circumstance that you want to have. So he said doing this systematically, consistently, and regularly will help to bring about those experiences. And again, we're actively engaging the imagination to such a degree that, he said when you open your eyes, you should be astonished that you're not in that experience or that situation that you vividly imagined. That's the ideal. So again, he talks about feeling it real and assuming the feeling that you would have when you have that experience, and that the imagination inside of us is really God, and that is what separates human beings from other creatures, is we have the ability to utilize that imagination. So the second master is Wayne Dyer, and everyone knows Wayne Dyer, written a number of books, a great guy, very informative. And what Wayne Dyer said was that you've got to continuously contemplate yourself as being surrounded by the conditions you wish to produce. So again, he's talking about the imagination and projecting what I call your psychic energy onto the circumstances or situations you want to produce. Again, it's continuously contemplate yourself as being surrounded by the conditions you wish to produce. So the third master of manifestation or the imagination is Matt Kahn. And Matt Kahn was introduced to me by a good friend of mine, a spiritual life coach here in Boise. And what Matt says is that you've got to feel the joy that you would have once you have that experience, but you've got to feel it now in the present moment. And in that way, you will draw that experience to you. So feel the happiness, the joy, the blissfulness now, even though you don't have it yet. And in that way, you'll draw it to you. That's what Matt Kahn said. Now, the other manifestation master is Jack Canfield. Everyone knows Jack Canfield, the super famous author, co-author of Chicken Soup for the Soul series. And I like Jack's approach because he takes a little more practical bent on it. And what Jack says is, you've got to act, think, talk, walk, dress, everything about what you want to do. He uses the example of an actress, right? And the actress is not a famous actress yet, and not even actually in any films or movies yet. And he said he recommended to her that she dress like an actress, talk like an actress, walk like it, read the magazines an actress does, go to the parties. When people ask what she does, tell them I'm an actress, all those things, and you're really submersing yourself in that experience, in that circumstance. And so I like that advice because it's really practical. See, the other people we've talk about more of the imagination, but Jack gets practical and says, bring it into the material world, do what they do, eat what they eat, think what they think. Those are practical aspects. Dress like they dress, go to the same places they go, whatever you want to become. So the other master is Joseph Murphy, and Joseph Murphy was the author of The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, and he talks very similar like Neville Goddard. And Joseph Murphy said that he defined it as this law of inverse transformation. And he said, if the experience you want will produce the feeling, then the feeling will produce the experience. And so even though you may not have the experience yet, you can produce that experience by producing the feeling. And anyone can produce the feeling using your imagination, like Neville Goddard talked about and like Wayne Dyer talks about. It's all about that imagination. So you produce the feeling and eventually you produce the experience. You know, even Albert Einstein talked about this extensively, the idea that your imagination will take you everywhere. So how do we apply these ideas to our own lives? The first step is to simply be conscious of it. Be aware where your psychic energy is, where your imagination is. I really believe that the reason people create the same circumstances over and over again is simply because they're not using their imagination. It's easy to let ourselves drift and not engage the imagination at all. And in that way, it's like having no motor on your boat. You're going to just go wherever the currents take you. When you turn on your motor, your imagination, and actively move towards your destination or your desired outcome every day by putting your imagination and your psychic energy on what you want to have, you'll go towards it. So just don't allow yourself to drift. Be aware of where your thinking is, where your imagination is, and that in and of itself is huge. Bruce Lee said, you know, awareness of a problem is like 99% solving the problem. So be aware of it. The second thing is to take advantage of those early morning and evening sessions, like Neville Goddard talks about, where you get into a relaxed state, either after meditation or maybe a deep relaxation body exercise, and close your eyes and take 10, 15, ideally 20 minutes and imagine yourself in that situation, in those circumstances. So 2 simple steps drawn from the ideas of these masters, I know they're going to make a profound difference in your life. Thanks for watching and happy manifesting.